You really trust, excuse me, that I do not join you. But I have already dined, and I never drink wine.
Okay, Count Dracula, you never drank wine. But believe me, an evolution of your dynasty is now drinking e-juice in a way that you can't imagine. Anyway, ciao a tutti and welcome back into my channel. I'm AndrewC and this is Vape in Italy. Today I'm going to talk to you about an Italian atomizer that took some time to see the board, but when it arrived, it became immediately one of the reference points. Today I'm going to talk to you about the Vampire V2 by Oxygène Mods. First, let's take some time to see the brand. Oxygène Mods is an Italian brand specialized in high-end hardware for vaping. Distinguishing characteristics of this brand is the usage of titanium instead of the most common stainless steel. Titanium is a transition metal with the highest strength-to-density ratio of all the metallic elements. It is used in a wide range of applications, starting from the submarine up to the aerospace, as well as in the medical and in racing applications. But I'm not here to talk to you about the titanium, especially because I'm not a material expert. So let's go back to the atomizer. Vampire was presented for the first time in 2015, and later in 2017 it has been updated to the V2. I don't have the first version with me, so I cannot show it to you. But on web I found a good comparison between the two, so I will describe the differences. With the V2, the modder gave the possibility of adding 2 additional air regulation holes, not available with the first version, and modify a little bit the geometry of the drip tip in order to make it a little bit more comfortable. Nowadays, the V2 has been standardized, so all the vampires of the last batches are exactly like the one I will show you in a moment. So now, let's go down to the table for a deep view of this atomizer. The packaging is simple and at the same time elegant in its simplicity. It is a completely white box with Oxygène Mods logo engraved. Inside the box, well protected by foam rubber, there is the atomizer, 2 extra glasses, spare parts that includes post screw, O-rings, and additional ropes. Vampire is a RDTA made with a titanium body as well as the drip tip. Dimensions are 22mm in diameter and 62mm in height, tip included. Brass posts are insulated by PEEK and Teflon insulators. The 2 ropes are in stainless steel and the tank is in Pyrex glass. This combination of materials makes the Vampire really light. It has an overall weight around 45 grams. Under the tank bottom, aside to the 5-tank connection, we can see the Oxygène Mods logo, the atomizer name and the serial number. In the center of the tank, there is an element that looks like a chimney. This is not a chimney. This is a sleeve where the brass positive pin runs in. Bottom of the tank is countersunk and it has an overall capacity about 4 ml. Central sleeve ends with a thread, the only one of the tank, that engages with its counterpart on the bottom of the deck. Tank in Pyrex glass is thicker than usual and is held in place by tightening the deck. Leak paths are sealed with 2 O-rings, one on the tank and the other on the deck. deck is a Genesis style. The two posts in brass are well spaced and allow installation of complex coil, as well as simple coil with diameter up to 4 mm. Centered in the deck, there's the air nozzle, and aside to it, there are two holes that hold in place the ropes. Refill hole is the one asymmetric and allows also the ventilation of the tank. During coil building, it is important to leave this hole free to breathe, or the capillarity effect generated by the ropes will be nullified by the underpressure in the chamber. E-liquid is supplied to the deck section through the ropes, exploiting the capillarity. The name of the atomizer is due exactly to these characteristics. The two ropes suck the liquid from the lower tank and bring it to the deck, placed on the upper part of the atomizer, exactly as a vampire sucks the blood from its victim. Airflow can be regulated by rotating the bell. There are 7 different holes on bell cap that vary from 0.8 mm to 2 mm with 0.2 mm increment. These holes are restriction in ingress to the 2 mm air channel that cross the deck and ends in a 2 mm nozzle underneath the coil. This airflow regulation allows using the vampire from pure MTL to restricted flavor vaping. Top cap has a sky with a conical shape, and on upper part there's a 510 connection for the drip tip. Characteristic of the vampire is the variable deck chamber. Top cap can be regulated in 8 and, consequently, the volume of the chamber surrounding the deck and the coil varies. Varying the dimension of the chamber, different notes of the same e-juice will be emphasized. With the top cap at the lower 8, so with the minimum volume, the vapor becomes more dry, while moving the top cap to the max 8, so with the maximum volume, fruity notes become predominant. Later, the modder introduced 3 additional top caps with different geometry, in order to vary the perception of the same flavor. These 3 caps are: reflector. This top cap tends to increase a little the heat through a sky with 3 concentric steps. Modder recommends it for bright tobacco, like barley or Virginia, or for fruity tobacco flavors. Compressor. This top cap tends to concentrate the perception of the flavor through a sky narrow and rounded. Modder recommends it with creamy and flavored tobacco e-liquids. Flattener. This top cap tends to dry the test of the vape through a flat sky. Modder recommends it with dark tobacco flavors, like Latakia. This is the Vampire V2. As usual, we have a last closer look of it, and then we switch the camera for some final considerations. Well, this is the Vampire V2 by Oxygène Mods. This is an atomizer that most of the Italian vapers know. The matching of each component is perfect, as well as the tolerances are precise and well calibrated. The coupling of the threads is super smooth, and the O-ring fits tight and offers the right resistance to the rotation of the bell. Juice feeding system has to be understood. The 2 ropes drive the e-juice to the cotton, then the cotton brings the juice to the coil. This system works very well, but you have to build in the right way. It is not difficult, but the cotton has to surround and engage very well the 2 parts of the rope that protrudes on the deck. in case the 2 ropes can be replaced by 2 mesh rods. I add in description the video made by the modder where he shows how to build the vampire. It is not the only way to do it, but at least is a starting point. Vaping with this atomizer is an explosion of tasties. Every note of the e-juice is clearly perceptible even if they are mixed and harmonized all together. The variable chamber over the deck is effective, and the perception of the juice varies by changing the height of the top cap. Of course, it is not going to change completely the taste of your juice, but varying the height of the top cap, you will feel the difference in predominance of some notes of the e-juice instead of others. Something I didn't mention in the video. There are customization available for the Vampire V2, like the top cap in Ultem and different version of the drip tip made in Teflon, in Delrin and in Ultem as well. Vampire is an atomizer that split the vapor. Some of them love it, some of them hate it. I know vapers that will never change their vampire for nothing, like me, and others that sold the vampire after few trials because it was not matching with their favorite flavor or with their vaping style. The vampire is not available right now in the official store, and I don't know if in the near future there will be new batches, but you can find some used atomizer in really good condition. This video ends here. I hope you enjoyed it. As usual, in description you will find some useful link as well as my Instagram and Facebook pages. Thanks for watching, subscribe to this channel, click on the bell, comment this video and let me know what do you think about it. See you next time. Ciao!